Yo, yo, yo. What's up? All right, let's do a little sound check. What's going on, guys? How can you hear me clearly? Am I clear? I want to make sure I'm clear this time. I don't want to sound a little too low like I did last time when we had our interview. That was kind of embarrassing. He said, but this time we're going to be talking about a very special thing. All right, if you look at the title of our course today, it is an effective ad study. All right, so this is something you want to learn. All right, because this is something that's unique. You know, it's unique for Black Sands Entertainment. It's something that I feel you need to know in order to be able to basically get the right information about this content. So let's see here. First things first, let's turn this down. We'll make sure I don't hear anything when I play these videos. All right. So first of all, if you're here, hit the like button, share this video on your timeline. You're about to get some insider information about Black Sands Entertainment's ad revenue, ad copy, and how you need to do it in order to effectively message to basically all Black audience. Okay, this is something that's a little bit different, right? We're not going to be talking about the wide audience. We're talking specifically about a specific audience, right? And if you grow your following on social media properly, basically what you're going to have is an audience that basically is all your customers, right? That's your audience. That's the people who actually follow you. And when you do lookalike campaigns, which is what I do, I always do lookalike campaigns. Basically, it's going to find people who buy your stuff nonstop, right? Because the Facebook pixel has seen exactly who my customers are, and now they micro target over and over again people that look similar to them, either by how they act, how they look online, what they like on Amazon, all that kind of stuff. They track all of that. And then they find people who are similar to them to see if they are going to purchase our stuff as well. All right? So, with that being said, what? Nandi, I'm too loud now. Am I too loud? Am I too loud, guys? Let me know. All right, so first thing we're going to do right now is we're going to play the first ad that I want to do a study on, okay? So, let's go to screen saving, all right? I'm going to share the screen with you. That way you can see it, right? And I'll turn the volume up a bit so you can hear what's going on in the ad. You need to be able to hear this in order to truly appreciate it. So let's go right here. Let's share the screen and we're off. All right, so this is my Instagram page, all right? Black Sands Entertainment. We're at 85,000. Hopefully we get 100,000 by March, okay? I'm pushing hard for it. and check this number out too. This is very important. You see how many posts I have? 2,053. I actually erased like hid like 300 posts. But basically, I had like 2,400 posts over the last 3 years. So if you're wondering how you grow your Instagram account, first of all, be active. You know, it's very important to be active. All these followers were from the very beginning when I was basically trading likes in order to get my stuff up. But once I got to about 10,000, I stopped doing that. All right, so that's first thing about Instagram. Now let's go to these ads. All right. Let's do an ad study about this one. Now listen to this and tell me what you think, okay?
Hey guys, this is Manuel Godoy from Black Sands. It is Black History Month and it's time for you to grab your copy of Black Sands, The Seven Kingdoms. Now check it out. This month is crazy, okay? And you see a lot of companies out there trying to exploit our communities, giving us products that don't really represent us. But this right here, this represents us, okay? This is the book that every kid needs. It's 3 comics and 1 hardcover limited edition print. All right, it's $20 on our store right now for this month, and we have a 15% discount as well for everything across the board. If you want a place to go and shop this month, you want to have something authentic for your kids and have one of the best IPs in the black community today, you need to order right now.
Now, do you see that right there? What do you think about that ad first, before we even begin? Let's go and get this off the screen so you can see me. All right, what do you think about that right there? That ad. See, now, this is something I want to tell you about that ad. There's a couple of elements of that ad that's very, very important. One, it's relatable, right? You see me there. First of all, the main screen cap is our entire roster of characters. Why is that there? Because we need to stop you for a second. Instagram people are scrolling through their feed all the time. They're scrolling. They just seen an IG model. They done seen a video game or a meme. The only thing that's going to stop them from moving if they see something that's extremely dope. So the screen grab has to be something that's going to stop them, right? It could be bait. It don't matter what it is, but you have to stop them. Next, it goes into, you hear music. You hear the music playing, you hear me talking, and I'm super excited. You see how I talk? I'm super excited. I'm telling you about this amazing thing. I reference Black History Month. It's a very specific holiday reference. And then on top of that, right, I'm talking about the value of the book. I'm not explaining what the book is about. Have you noticed in that entire ad, I don't explain anything about the book. I don't say, join Asar as he travels through the world, fighting ancients and saving humanity in this epic ancient Egyptian tale. You don't hear any of that crap. What you hear is, this is the thing you need for your black children so that they can get proper education and they can finally get things. I'm talking to the audience. I'm not to the buyers. I'm not talking to the people who's going to read it. I'm talking to the people who make the financial decisions, which is the parents. And the parents want specific things. I hit them. The second thing I do is after I'm done talking and I pitch them and I tell them a clear call to action. I say, hey, get this book now. We have an amazing deal for this month only. After I do all that, I show them images of us literally teaching kids, literally in front of teenagers, seeing teenagers working with us. What that does is shows them in their head, hey, this is real. This isn't just some people in blackface, basically selling stuff to me. These are real leaders in the community. It's real people, right? The actual caption said, real people changing real lives. Order now. This is the kind of ad that is extremely effective. But wait, let's go look at the ad copy, right? What did I actually write in the caption? Because the caption is actually important too, right? So what did I write in the caption? Let's see. Let's go and turn the screen capture on and let's go to the ad. All right. So the screen caption, right? This is the caption under the video on Instagram. Remember, Instagram is a mobile website, so you have to do everything mobile. So look at this. I say, time to claim our history. Use code AUTHENTIC on your desktop for 15% off your entire order. Do not fall for the fake businesses out there acting like they represent us. They do not tour our schools, teach our children, or train our future authors. All right? Every dollar you spend at our company goes back to the black community. Black Sands is a movement. Click the link or visit blacksandsentertainment.com to order now. Hashtag a whole bunch of hashtags that are awesome. All right? Now that's effective ad copy, okay? That's what we want to do. We give them a call to action. Claim your history. Use code AUTHENTIC to sweeten the deal. All right? Talk about proof, your social proof. Say, why should you buy from me? Is it because I have amazing drawings? Or is it because I represent the community? Because I go out to schools, which you just saw images of. Because I actually work in the black community and train people. This is why you buy from me, not because my books look pretty. This is the kind of things you need to be pushing when you're making books. All right? It's you that they're buying. They're not buying the book, they're buying you. Okay? And now you saw that ad and you said, hey, that's a pretty effective ad. But what did it do? What did it actually do? What was the measurable results of that ad? Well, let's go check it out. In the last 7 days, all right? So we're going to break it down. In the last 7 days, let's go through the stats, okay? So first of all, let's go into the, let's see here. This is a cumulative. I went only the last 7 days. Total ad money spent on this one. Let's see here. So the ad spend, right, for this, let's go and make sure that we are showing you guys. I'm going to show you this real quick. This is in my ads account, all right? So on that specific video that you just saw, in the last 7 days, I had spent $566 on that ad, okay? That's the ad spend for this time period. During that time period, right, I got 3,144 links, or effectively, I got one click on the link to my store for every 17 cents that someone spent. That I spent on ads, all right? So every 17 cents, I got a lead, right? Now, we need to do the math, right? Let's do the math here. So if we have 17 cents per link, right? And we need basically 100 clicks, right, in order to sell something, right, allegedly, right? Basically, that means that we're spending close to $7 to $8 per ad because we're at a 2% conversion rate, all right? That's our conversion rate, 2%, all right? So you said that's kind of high, but because we have a margin of 250%, right, we're actually making about $8 per book, right? That's how we do it. And that's on the low end. That's not including people who actually have higher purchases. So we're talking about if I'm selling my cheapest book, and only that, which is the $20 book, we're looking at making about $8 on an order. However, if we're selling mega bundles, right, because we upsold them properly, we make close to $40 on that purchase, in that one purchase. You understand? And we have a lot of purchases. So we're looking at this right here, right? We see the 3,149 links. Look at this right here, all right? 136,000 people in the last week have seen Black Sands Entertainment somewhere on Instagram. This matters, all right? This is like the extra bonus content, okay? This is bonus material. This means nothing to your sales. But when you go to like a show, let's say you go to a Comic-Con or anime convention or a book fair, they're going to see your banner, the same banner that you use in your ads, and they're going to go, wait a minute, I could have sworn I've seen this before. Oh yeah, I've seen this on Facebook. And you'll be surprised how many people have seen you before and will buy your stuff because of that nostalgia effect. Where they're like, I know I've seen this before. I seen this the other day. I didn't think it was real. He said, this is the secret sauce to ads, all right? This is the bonus material, all right? You guys definitely need to understand this thing. This is extremely important. Now, I'm going to show you what this $566 got me, all right? So first of all, let's go out of this. Let's go to billing. I think billing will help, right? Because we want to know what the numbers are. Nope, that's not what I needed. Let's go to Ad Manager. I want to go to Power Manager. So where's my Power Manager? Here we go, Overview. Okay, so here we're in our Overview, right? And I want to set this up for the 5th to the 11th, all right? The last 7 days, all right? So this is how much I spent on ads in total, right? You looking at that? It says $1,224 in the last week. In the last week for advertisement, okay? Now I'm going to go back to the screen so you can see me, and then we'll talk about this. Let's go and get me back. All right. So first of all, let's take some questions. Do you have any questions so far before I go and show you the results of these ads? Right now, I'm looking at your comments, and I'm trying to see any questions you have regarding what we've talked about so far. I'll address them, and then I'll go into the results of these ads that I've shown you. All right, so first things first, Sheba B asked a simple question. How do you know which ads are the best ones? First of all, the easiest measurement for which ones are the best ones is click-through rate, all right? So there's click-through rate. It basically means how many people actually click the button to shop now on your link, all right? The cheaper it is, so in other words, the cheaper it is per link click, the more effective the ad is at getting you attention. However, attention doesn't pay bills, all right? So that is the first metric which I use in order to judge how effective an ad is. Am I spending a lot of money for someone to click that ad? If I'm spending a heck of a lot of money just for someone to click it, it's probably a horrible ad, right? It said, however, right, it really depends on what you're selling too, because if you have really expensive products, then it might be worth it. But we're booksellers, all right? And since we're booksellers, we need to get that ad cost down. So the click-through rate is very important. That's the first measurement. The second measurement is our conversion rates, all right? Our conversion rates while these ads are up, all right? I'll give you a great example of this. I have an ad that I ran for, it was the animation of Black Sands, right? Huge, it was a cool animation, right? People were looking for a DVD. My store doesn't sell DVDs. It's on pre-order right now. So it didn't have the item from which they wanted to get. So a lot of people were coming to my store, way more people than normal, but nobody was buying anything because they were looking for a DVD and they weren't seeing it. So while I had a high click-through rate, it had a low conversion rate. So we have to make sure that we're sending people directly to what we advertised, because we want to have a high conversion rate. A high conversion rate, believe it or not, is about 1.5%. So in other words, if you get 1,000 people coming to your store, you should have 15 orders, right? I've been having, for 1,000 people in my store, roughly in this last week, about 26 orders a day. So we're looking at close to a 2.6% conversion rate. So we're way up there right now as far as conversion rates because the ad is so targeted. It's about the Black History Month. It's about special deals and offers, cheaper shipping, everything. You know, so that's your measurables. That's how you can tell which ad is good and what's not. Let me see what else. Let me see. Let's see. How do you manage your Facebook and Instagram? It's all in the same account. Just make a Facebook pixel. All right. There's something called a Facebook pixel. Attach it to your store and focus on organic links to your push. So push people to your store organically for a while. And Facebook Pixel will watch who's coming to your store, watch their tendencies, and then pull their Facebook information so they know exactly what they've been watching on Facebook and looking at Facebook. And then they'll start having a blueprint for what your potential customer is. And the more it succeeds at seeing the same kind of people, the more stubborn it becomes, to the point where it only hunts the people who actually buy your stuff. So Facebook Pixel is an amazing tool, but you have to train it over time. Let's see, what else? Great Gail asks, do you recommend influencer ads for your books? Depends on if the influencer is directly in your niche or not, and if their engagement is real. All right, there are a lot of people out there who have hundreds of thousands of followers and have horrible engagement. All right, this is very important. You gotta look at their engagement rate. How much are people commenting? How much are videos about the things that they're advertising getting actual attention? If it's not, that ad might be worth nothing. Let's see what else. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Gambit says, should you wait to start paying for ads? Meaning, should you use social media initially to get the word out? Well, ads kind of works in two ways. One, because you're only targeting the United States, which is what you should be doing if you're ever using ads, you should be using only the United States. All right, because there's a lot of fake clicks outside in the world. So do the United States, you usually get real people. All right. He said they'll follow you. If you have an effective ad that's funny and engaging, they will follow you just for the heck of it. I gain about 200 followers a day just from running ads. Real followers. You know, so you'd be surprised, you know. Let's see. Will you be showing tutorials on how to target your audience? Nope. I probably won't be getting that specific. However, students will obviously get all the attention they need, right? And I'll be helping them directly. Let's see. Is the cost of ads on Instagram greater, less, or the same than Facebook? All right. Here's the secret. The secret is Facebook sucks right now. All right. Don't use Facebook. Use Instagram for everything. Instagram is where it's at. Instagram is where people actually buy things. Make your store mobile friendly to death. Don't even think about making it desktop friendly. Mobile. Everything mobile friendly, okay? Instagram, 100%. You'll be way more effective with your ads. You'll be way more effective with your organic content. It's just better. Period. All right. Let's see what else. Let's see. Can you make the ad before it comes out so people are eager for it to come? Can you make the ad before it comes out so people are eager for it to come? Well, I always say this. If you don't have something to sell, don't make an ad. There's no point. Make ads that sell so you can recoup the money for the advertisement. All right? There should be no ads that cost you money directly. All right? That's just bad play because people will forget. People always forget. Unless they're purchasing something, they will forget. I always pay for traffic. I don't pay for click-through rates because I know that my traffic will get me sales. I know my conversion rate. If I get 1,000 people to my store, I'll make X amount of money a day. I just know that. I know that, you know. So as long as I know that my conversion rate's high, I want as much traffic as I possibly can get, you know. If I got horrible conversion rate that day and I have a lot of traffic, I tend to cut back on ads because I know that the message isn't correct right now. Right now, the message is hardcore correct. So let's continue. Let's go into what this ad actually did. So let's go show that right now. All right, here we go. All right, so we saw this, right? We saw this. Frequency, just let you know what frequency means. It means a user has seen your ad X amount of time. So in other words, people end up seeing my ad 3 or 4 times before they make a purchase. You see that right there? Frequency. It's a very high frequency per user. So people see it again and again and again, and then they finally buy something, right? Because they like it. So they keep seeing it, and they don't kill it. They don't say, please block this. I don't want to see it anymore. They actually agree with it. Another thing is this, unique link clicks. So I spent roughly, $1,224, right, for 5,500 visitors, right, and 250,000 real Americans, all right, real Americans were exposed to my brand this week alone, all right. So you're looking at this, right, 1224. That's what it says. You're like, man, that's a lot of money to spend on ads, right? Right? Most people would say that, right? But then we go to Shopify, and this is what I made over that exact time period. All right? See that right there? That's what happened. So in that time period that we were doing our advertisements, we made this much. And we did it with 6,277 visitors. Now, if you notice, the number's off, right? There's about 800 more visitors in there than what we paid for. That's organic reach. That's people that just came by another day, or they came by at a later time, or maybe they went home and got on their desktop. Those are visitors that I didn't pay for. They just showed up, right? And then we have 7.27% return rate. So in other words, most of our customers, about 93% of my customers had never bought from me before in this last week. Do you understand how important that is to acquire a new customer off of ads? Our advertisement conversion rate is 2.23%, which is phenomenal. Okay? That right there is phenomenal, right? And in the last week, we have had 165 orders. All right? That's our numbers. That's what our ad did. That's what $1,224 did, right? For our company. All right? That's called an effective ads for a week. Now, the reason why I'm trying to tell you this is because once you find an ad that works, right? Once you find an ad that is converting hard, you have to start scaling it up, right? And you scale it up slowly. You don't go and say, oh, it did really good at $100. Better run $1,000 today. No, you go, hey, it did really good at $100 today. I got like $300 in sales. Let's do 200 this time and see if I get 600. If the first day it's 500 because Instagram is still working on trying to fix the audience since it's pushing harder, but if the second day comes around and now it's 600 or even more, right? Then your ad is scaling and being consistent with its return on investment. All right. So you keep scaling and scaling and scaling and scaling. All right. Right now, I made roughly 425% on my return. That's what I made. All right. I spent X amount of money, and then I generated 4 times that amount in sales. All right, that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal for any situation. That is absolutely phenomenal. All right, and that's what you want to do all year long. Is it possible to do it all year long? I haven't been able to pull it off, but I tell you one thing, I have had streaks where it was close to 3 months of that. I've had streaks where it was good 3 months of sales like that for like 3 straight months. So I don't know if it's going to happen again. I hope it does. But when high tide happens, and it's mostly because of Instagram and Facebook's algorithm changes, when high tide happens, you need to get on that surfboard and get on them waves. you gotta ride them waves hard when they come. All right, because it's all a game of seasons, and you got to know when the season is coming for you. All right, because this is a wild mess. All right, so let's go back in here. Let's have one last conversation before we close this out. So, what do you guys think of that right there? Give me some feedback. How do you think on that return right there? That's a 400% return on your ads, man. 400%. 400%. And the reason why it's like that is because it's, first of all, you saw our ad copy. We were talking directly to a specific audience. In fact, the funniest thing about this ad is that I had people come onto the ad comments and say, man, you know why your company is struggling? Because you're making it too political. You said the second you bring race into the situation, everything goes crazy because you know they ain't buying from us. They ain't buying from us. And I'm just sitting there. I didn't even respond to dude, but I was just sitting there laughing because I'm like, if you only knew, bruh. If you only knew. It's like they don't understand marketing. Your audience needs to be as narrow as possible. You have to be their hero. And because you're their hero, they're going to support you because they feel like you're under siege. I talk about how black families never get shown in books. Ever. They just don't get shown. You'll never see black families in children's books. It'll always be the mom and the daughter or something like that. You'll never see the father in any story. And people be like, oh, that's horrible. Why would you say that? Nobody's going to buy your books now because you're being too divisive. And then sales skyrocket. Why? Because I'm talking to one specific customer. I'm not talking to the whole world. I don't want the whole world because conversion rates don't lie. Let me show you something else. I want to show you something that's very important, okay? Because Facebook and Instagram are the most sexist, racist, super targeting like algorithms you'll ever see in your life. You think I'm bad with my marketing decisions? Look what Facebook did. All right, this is what Facebook did without my guidance. Remember, I told you I use lookalike campaigns. I don't actually target anybody. I just simply do lookalike campaigns. And my followers are about 35% female, 65% male. So I should get 35% female eyes on my ads and 65% male eyes on my ads. Watch this. Let me show you something real quick. This is funny. This is 100% what Facebook decides on their own without me. All right? I didn't tell it to do this. Watch this. Let's go to the campaigns. Let's click on this one right here. Boom. Let's go look at the charts. All right? So we're looking at the charts, right? Look at this right here, demographics, all right? First of all, demographics. It spends basically the majority of my money on 25 to 34-year-olds. But look at the percentages, all right? Look at the percentages, first of all. All right, so they show 86% of the time, they show my ads to men, all right? 35% of my followers are female. They say because we believe that your customer are men, right? Your customers are men, we're going to push all the money to men. All right? That's not me. I didn't make that decision. That is Facebook that made that decision. They said your customers are 25 to 34-year-olds, aka millennials. All right? Your customers are millennials. We won't spend money on old people. We won't spend money on young people. Your customers are millennials. So that's what they spend their money on. All right. They also spend a good even amount of money on 18 to 24-year-olds and 35 to 44-year-olds. Okay. Across all boards, they feel like women should get this much amount of money. Not this much, like this much. This is not me. This is Facebook and Instagram making this decision. All right? I almost guarantee you 95% of the people they show my ads to are black or Hispanic from the north. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's almost guaranteed. I know where my sales are going. My sales are always going to major cities. So in other words, it's not even showing it to rural areas. Like I barely ever get orders from the middle of nowhere. It's always a major city in America. Period. Non-stop. Right? Remember, I don't do micro targeting in my ads. I just do lookalike campaigns. And Facebook decides who's to show it to because they know who buys my books and they're making decisions to help me make money because they want me to spend more money with them. You see, the better my ads work, the more money I give them. The more money I give them, the better off they are, period. So they don't care if I make $1,000 or $1 million in one day. So long as they're getting their cut, they don't care. And they want you so they're going to do everything they can. They're going to cut people out of the demographics. They're going to show it to a certain type of people if they feel like those people will buy from you more, all by themselves. You don't have to worry about it. Now with Facebook and Instagram, their algorithms and their teams are working this way in marketing. They're freaking being divisive, right, with their targeting. Then what's to say that we shouldn't be doing that, right? I mean, they're doing it and they're the professionals. They're the professionals. Oh, by the way, DeAndre, I hate Twitter. Don't waste your money on Twitter. Nobody buys anything on Twitter, all right? Twitter is a place to go and talk and be cool, right? But it's not a place to really sell anything. I hate Twitter. I hate Twitter to death, all right? Facebook, Facebook's kind of decent. Instagram's literally the best. And then Pinterest is amazing if you have women stuff, all right? Pinterest is amazing for women. And then YouTube is just good in general, especially if you're working with an influencer. Yes, Teresa Gully, exactly. So that's exactly what's happening. All right, this is a good assessment. Let's go read it real quick. Teresa says, so if you live in a rural area, you may not even see the ads unless you just specifically look for similar items. Yes. So unless you're looking at Black Panther, the comic books, or or you're specifically looking at Black empowerment, or you're watching Dr. Umar or something like that, you will never see Black Sands Entertainment on a paid ad. All right, they don't consider us a comic book company. They consider us a culture company, so a black culture company. All right, that's how they consider Black Sands Entertainment. If you notice, when you are on Instagram and you're looking at comic books, you barely ever see us. But if you look at social stuff, we pop up all the time. You know, that's how we branded ourselves too. We don't want to be known as a bookmaking company. We want to be known as people who are basically educating kids and everything else, right? Growing them into more successful human beings. That's what we want to be known as. That's our brand, education influencers, right? And that's why you always see us in social feeds. You don't really see us in comic book feeds. All right, so this is the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes, you can ask any questions you want. I'll be answering them. First of all, before we begin that though, please tell me your feedback. How do you feel about these ads? How do you feel about the returns and how it can be done? Why the elements of an advertisement that makes it effective, right? Please give me some feedback on that so I can understand where you're at and I can help you understand a little more. DeAndre asks, is there a way to maneuver the way Facebook or Twitter distorting your advertisements? Well, you can always just straight up target yourself. So you can say, hey, I only want audiences that do this or only have this interest or something like that. You could do that. You could say, hey, I only want people certain age. Hey, I only want people in certain cities. You can do all that stuff. That's for people who are very advanced at advertisements, right? If they want to super hardcore target a specific audience. But if you're looking for customers and you're a book company, you shouldn't care where your customers come from, right? You just want to make sure that you're spending your money on people who will actually click the link and buy stuff, right? You don't want to spend your money on rural people because you tend to end up just wasting money, you know? Cool Tubes asks, can anyone copy our stuff on social media? Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? They shouldn't be able to get your products though. So if you're selling your products, they shouldn't be able to get your products, but they can copy you. They can copy the way you say things. They can copy the way you deliver your ads or what you did. There's always copycats out there. It shouldn't help. I mean, it shouldn't matter. Okay, the question from 260 Videos says, how do you feel about releasing monthly chapters of your comic until you get it published? Do you think that is good for getting a fan base? Well, 260 Videos, it really depends on how fast you can make your chapters. All right, so what is a chapter? 5 pages or is a chapter like 20 pages? All right, this really matters when it comes to releasing on a schedule. All right, if you can make a lot of content quickly, releasing on a schedule is a great way to increase your subscribers, eventually get customers, blah, 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 blah. If you're releasing like 5 pages in a month, then it's best just to wait until the whole book's done. Oh, Gambit, you know what? Gambit just said something that's amazing. He said, seems a little more involved than simply throwing up a cool ad. Is this a situation? He said, is this a, where'd it go? Okay, here it is. Is this a situation where capital does the work? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a perfect situation of which capital does the work. Capital did all the work here, all right? If I didn't have the money to run the ads in the first place, right, I wouldn't even be able to test them because they take the money out before I ever get paid, right? So this is a situation in which I have the revenue to funnel money into advertisements, and then it returns 3-4-fold. All right, that's great. That's exactly what we want to see. All right, so when we're looking at things like that, right, that's basically capital doing all the work. That's what it is, you know. He said, so Edwin Burjo says, how do we get ads and how do we manage them for a novel? Well, first things first, you want to build a mailing list. All right, so basically how I build a mailing list is make a short little trailer, 15-second trailer of your amazing book, and then say download the first chapter for free, sign up now, right? And they sign up and they get the email of the first chapter sent to them. And then maybe 2-3 months down the line, you finish your book, you print it, and bam, you sell to all those people that signed up and got your first chapter and actually interested in it. You also engage with them throughout the entire time through email. All right, you don't even need a store for this. You just simply capture their emails, get them the first chapter for free, right, and engage with them as much as you can until the release date. All right, that's the best way to pump your things. You could even try to sell pre-orders, though that won't go too well until you've completed a lot more work. Let's see. Okay. When selling books throughout this 90-day course and beyond, will we need book a trademark when it comes to putting, for example, our characters on clothing or with a copyright cover that? Don't invest into a trademark until you're seriously making money, okay? Trademarks are like $1,500. All right? That's just too much money for somebody brand new trying to do, all right? Trademarks are only important. The most important thing about trademarks is licensing, okay? So if somebody's an approved vendor to sell your product, right, that requires a trademark. But for the most part, you know, you don't need a trademark, all right? Only people that do that like video game companies, because a lot of people like using their logos and stuff. So they say, hey, we got a trademark here to protect our property, right? But that's not what we're at all, you know. Copyright should do more than enough for protecting your products for now. All right. All right, Native 2087. So here's the question: with Facebook, how do you believe our friends factor into our ad success, or do we view them as we would complete strangers who see our ads? All right, here's the answer. One, when you make your business page for Facebook and Instagram, make sure to never add your friends. First step, don't add your friends. Your Facebook and Instagram business pages are not for your friends. They're not for your family. They are not your customers. They will never be your customers. What you need to do is make sure that your audience looks like your customers. So you don't go and holler at other things. You don't get off topic. You stay on your topic and you get as much loyal followers as you can so you can make lookalike campaigns later on that are effective. All right? I want to be clear. Let me say this again. Your family and your friends are not your customers. They will never be your customers. And the reason why they're not your customers is because they're your family and your friends. And anytime they buy something from you, they consider it a favor. They're not buying from you because they want the product, even if they do want the product. They consider every single action they do for you as a favor amongst family and friends. It is not something that a regular customer will ever make a decision on. It is something based on pressure, social norms, and other things. So I avoid those situations by never relying on friends and family when it comes to making business decisions, and it will help you in the long run significantly. It will mess your numbers up hardcore if you go and add a whole bunch of friends and family, because they are not real customers. They're people doing favors for you. Even if they love your stuff, it's still a favor to you. You understand? There's nothing tragic about it. There is nothing tragic about it at all. That is how business works. Your customers have to be strangers. Otherwise, your business will die. You understand? You will never make, even if all your family members, even if every single family member you know buys your book, you will be underwater. You will not have enough money to pay for that book. Even if every single family member you know buys the book, you will be underwater. So what's the point? What's the point of getting all those strings involved? You go to a family affair and everybody's bragging about how they supported you and bought your book, and everybody's all in your face about how much you owe them and stuff like that. What's the point of all that? You got to have new customers. No strings attached. All right, love your family to death. Use them. He said tie them in, maybe give them a job or whatever if they earn their keep, right? But under no circumstances you rely on them as customers. All right, it's especially important for Kickstarter. If your Kickstarter or your GoFundMe has to rely on family and friends, it failed. It failed right off the bat. It's over. You're not raising that money. You have to make sure that strangers will support you. All right, if your message isn't strong enough for strangers to support you, your Kickstarters will fail. They will fall. They will completely 100% fall apart. And it's important for you to understand your strangers are your best friends. When it comes to business, strangers are the gold mine from which you get all of your resources. You have to be able to court absolute strangers and make them feel like they've known you forever, and they will go down and fight for you. That they wouldn't just stand by and watch you fall down. They say, this is needed. We need this in our lives. Let's support this person. All right? I'm sorry I went on a tangent there, but that one got to me, because a lot of people fall for that trap. They invest so much into their family and friends. And I always tell people, when you're doing favors for somebody, it's on your time, right? It's like, hey, I'm doing a favor for you. I'll get to it when I can, right? When you're doing a Kickstarter, you need everybody to invest on day one. The second the campaign starts, you need momentum so you can go viral. So you need everybody to invest on day one. But people are like, oh, I'm doing it for my friend. I'll get it to them on Friday, you know? He said, nah, you got to get it to me on the first day. But because they're not really a customer, they're a friend, they're like, okay, I'm going to help them out when I can. You know, it's like it's a very different dynamic than an actual hardcore customer and supporter. Those people are like, man, he says Monday, it's Monday. We're going on Monday. I'm going to tell everybody about Monday. Damn right. Right? While a friend would be like, I don't know, man. I ain't going to tell everybody. You know, I'm your friend. My friends aren't your friends. So I don't want to go and tell them about something. It might bug them. All this personal feelings, you know. Strangers be like, yo, did you see that dope video I saw, man? If you don't go and help me in this, bruh. All right, so that's what's up. I love my family. I spend so much time with them. But make sure, man, that is not who you're relying on, okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't rely on them, all right? Do not rely on them. Do not rely on the church. Don't rely on any of those organizations that do stuff out of favors. All right, make sure that every single person that you rely on business-wise is doing it because they have a necessity to do so. They will benefit from the transaction themselves. All right, that is business 101. If your customer does not benefit from what they're getting from you, right, they're less likely to support. All right, they have to feel like they have gotten something out of the deal. Not they bought a book to support you so you can be an entrepreneur. Nobody does that, which is why a lot of people fail, and then they say black people don't buy from black people, right? They'll be like, oh man, black people, they don't support each other. Well, there's a lot of black people dominating right now because they give value to the customer. And guess what? You don't have to outcompete your competition. Did you know that? If a black customer sees a white product, right, and a black product, right, both are top quality, right, but they're equal in every way, they will pick the black product 100% of the time. All right, they will pick it 100% of the time, and the reason why is because they do love supporting their people, but they're not gonna buy they're not gonna buy the less superior product, regardless of who makes it. All right, they're not going to buy the lower quality item regardless of who makes it. All right, that is not going to do it. That's the mind of a customer. We buy the best stuff that we can afford. So all you got to do is compete. All you got to do is be on the same level as your opponent, right? And they're going to pick you 100% of the time. Yes, native 2087. That's a good example. Someone buys it, never reads it, puts it away, right? What is that? So that's what's up. That's tonight's lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out. This was not a scheduled lesson, okay? This was not what we were supposed to learn today, but I felt like it was a good time to intercede so I could show you what's going on with ads, okay?